This lapel video has Albuquerque cops in trouble. Did the video slip through the cracks at APD, or did someone sweep it under the rug? Good evening. Was it a screw-up or a cover-up? News 13 has obtained an APD memo that raises a lot of tough questions. Let's get right to News 13's Katie Kim.
Dean, tonight we've learned that a supervisor did watch the video from one of the incidents and found it disturbing enough to ask APD brass for an internal investigation. But that never happened. In fact, police didn't do anything until News 13 started asking questions 2 months later. A memo obtained by News 13 shows a sergeant at the Albuquerque Police Department believed 2 officers violated policy at the scene of a domestic violence call. On May 30th, officers Connor Rice and Chad Solis chased a domestic violence suspect near UNM and found him hiding under a car. Officer Rice tasered him underneath the car. 2 violations of APD policy because it was dangerous and it was unnecessary. In a memo written 2 days after the incident, the sergeant says she watched the lapel camera video. She sent the memo up the chain asking for an internal affairs investigation. The request went nowhere. Then just 1 day after that tasing incident, the same officers used force again to nab suspected drug dealers. Officer Rice and Solis kicked down a door to an apartment complex without a warrant, then fired their tasers up to 4 times.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
An hour later, cops found another suspect voluntarily lying down with his hands behind his back.
I surrender. You surrender. Stop resisting.
That's when Officer Ronald Saran stepped on the suspect's face, and Officer Rice hit him 3 times on the head. The officers left out those details in their police reports, but they did admit to firing their tasers. When cops use any sort of force, APD policy requires a sergeant to interview the officers, then look at the evidence, like lapel video. In this case, it's unknown if a supervisor watched the video and let the officer's actions slide, or if no one ever watched it. It took 2 months and News 13 asking for the video for APD brass to find out about the officer's actions at that drug bust.
The actions of personnel who reviewed the incident at all levels will be conducted.
Now, because of this latest scandal, Chief Schultz has implemented a new policy. From now on, deputy chiefs, not immediate supervisors, will look at the evidence and lapel videos when a police report shows an officer used any type of force. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you. Officer Connor Rice is charged with battery and aggravated battery for excessive force. He is on paid suspension. The other 2 officers are on desk duty but have not been charged. And we asked APD just how often the department has to use force to see how video from the drug bust could possibly have fallen through the cracks. They said the department has about 4 cases a week total to review.